Hi guys, welcome to Drum Dog, and today, once again, we are talking about the madness of Matt Garstka. So last week, prog metal band Animals as Leaders released a new single, and it once again, absolutely blew my mind. It was incredible from start to finish, and rhythmically and metrically speaking, it was absolutely fascinating. Now, this song is called Monomyth. Go and check it out. There is a link in the description. Have a listen, and today we are going to be looking at and breaking down the first beat that we hear in this song. Now, it's fairly clear to see, as soon as you have seen the engineers from Prometheus doing their thing, we are dealing with some odd time here. This isn't a simple Boots and Cats tune. We've got some weird and syncopated rhythms to break down, as well as some timey-wimey kind of metric context stuff to work out where those rhythms sit. So today we're going to be breaking down this first beat in terms of the pattern itself, those little blah, 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 and then the metric context in which that pattern sits. Because a pattern is only as useful as the pulse that's underlying it, which in this case isn't very obvious at all. So first things first, let's break down this first rhythm that we're hearing on that staccato guitar pattern in the intro. Now, it sounds fairly complex and it's really hard to get to grips with any reference point to work out what's happening. But if we break down each of those groups of three, because each accent we're hearing is a burst of three notes. If we hear each of those accents as a single note, this actually breaks down into two patterns, which we hear a lot in prog music. Now, these two patterns are simply put a grouping of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a grouping of 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now notice in our grouping of 5, we only actually had two accents. So we're accenting note number 1 and note number 3, and then notes 2 and 4 and 5, I'm going to play non-accented in my left hand. So we get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The same thing applies to our group of 7. We're accenting notes 1, 3 and 5 for then notes 6 and 7 to be non-accented. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, those two patterns make up this entire riff that we're hearing, but it is in a kind of crazy order. So we're actually dealing with 5, 7, 7, 5, 5, 7. That creates a total grouping of 36 notes, and at first it's actually super hard to get to grips with. So let's just take a second to remember that again. That was 5, 7, 7, 5, 5, 7. So with those simple accent groupings, just like we played then, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now that is a lot to remember, so write this down if you need to, or use the notation from this video lesson, just whatever's best for you to get that in your head in the first place. So one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Now, as always, take the time to get comfortable with that pattern because that is the basis of this entire beat. Obviously, it does go a little deeper than that, but this is the core of actually more than just this beat. That rhythm is a core of most of this song. We're just looking at it from slightly different angles and applying it in slightly different ways. But that grouping, our 5, 7, 7, 5, 5, 7, makes up almost 80% of this track. Now, to take this to a pattern that we recognize in that intro, all we're doing is adding a burst of 3 notes on each of those accent points. So with those bursts of 3, our grouping of 5 turns into this. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5. And our grouping of 7 turns into this. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7. So now when we put all of those numbers back together with those two groupings, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, we get this full pattern. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7. So those are our groupings that we hear at the beginning of that track. One. So simply put, that is our pattern. Obviously this is heavily syncopated and includes loads of odd groupings that are all mixed and matched together, and unfortunately at some point we're going to have to deal with the challenge of actually playing this with our feet on the bass drum. But for now, let's move on from our basic pattern to hearing a rhythmic context that this pattern is sitting inside, and this is where things start to get really interesting. Now at the front of this track, Matt marks time on an open hat with a nice 1, a 2, 3, a 4 to give this 16th note feel as if the rhythm were in this context. But once we've got through that little open hat counting and our short little intro fill, once Matt kicks into that full beat, it's almost as if he's marking a completely different time altogether. And if you listen carefully to the way the snare falls on the backbeat, we're actually implying a 6/4 time here with a triplet feel. Now, to put simply, that is going to sound a little bit like this. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which sounds like a super simple feel, but this is without our syncopated pattern yet. But that 6/4 feel is super important to hearing this in the right metric context. Now, you could also describe this 6/4 feel as a compound 18/8 feel on a same vein to a 12/8 feel, just with 6 main beats, but both achieve the same thing at the end of the day. So first things first, we've got to recontextualize this odd syncopated pattern into our new 6/4 triplet feel. So let's just check this out on the pad first. So in our new 6/4 triplet feel, let's count ourselves in nice and slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Now, if you remember earlier in this video, I said our grouping of our 5, 7, 7, 5, 5, 7 added up to 36 beats, which happened to fall perfectly into 2 bars of our 6/4 triplet feel. Then all of a sudden, this whole thing starts slotting into place and maybe isn't quite as odd time as it initially sounds. So with our pattern dialed in and our new 6/4 context, it's time to take this to the kit and actually hear how this pattern starts to land with some cymbals and a backbeat. Now, I'm not sure we could go as far to say that this is grooving now, but I'm certainly feeling something. This groove is just so exciting to me. The way that pattern moves through that 6/4 feel with just that plain backbeat on beat 4 is just absolutely bonkers. But you guys know we've got to take it that one step further and add those bursts in down on the bass drum. So just like we did on the pad, each of those accents is going to be a group of 3 16th note triplets as we shift through that same pattern. Now, at this point with this beat, I'm actually not sure what's more of a workout, the coordination of that odd pattern down on the feet and the simple 6/4 backbeat beat on top, or the pure stamina of keeping those bursts of 3 going through this pattern all the way up to speed, which is only at 150 BPM, but when we're dealing with 16th note triplets up there, that's super fast. How on earth Matt does this for the duration of a song, I'm still, well, like I said, mind blown about this track. This is some serious levels of musicianship. Now, I really hope this video has helped break down this absolutely bonkers beat to some of you guys and help illuminate the rhythms and actually surprisingly simple rhythmic contexts that make these songs as special as they are. Again, massive kudos to the Animals as Leaders guys and Matt Garsker for continually raising that bar of prog music and pushing the rhythmic limits of prog and seeing what happens and actually still making it sound good, which is some kind of miracle. If you want to see more drum lessons like this, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to check out our full feature-length lesson packs over on our website drum.dog. We'll see you again soon.